Okay, greetings. Today we are going to be doing a clothes transfer. Okay, I don't have any other homebrew stuff going on apart from this. So what we're going to be doing is kegging this beer, and we're going to be putting it into that keg. Okay, it's clean and sanitized, and I've flushed the oxygen out. Don't necessarily do that for every beer, but there's a few hops in this, even though it's kind of a dark red beer. I thought I would do it anyway. So, first things first, I need to get my beer line. So this is just the beer line. The way I work it is basically whatever is on the Firmzilla goes into the keg. I just need to change that because I use most of mine are pin lock. Obviously that's a gas post, and because the beer post is sanitizing. So there it is there. Got the connectors on. All I need to do is to take off the party top, and we're in business. Obviously the beer line's already been sanitized. And then whatever one in the keg or in the keezer comes out, and then I get it cleaned and sanitized for the next time. So that is the circle of life. Or something. So let's see. Where are you gonna go? Are you gonna go over here? Fridge is humming away as well too, which is not great. So beer line in there. Which one's the beer? I think it's that one was the beer. Can't really see anything. This is the one where I forgot to put the spunding valve, or I'd closed the spunding valve altogether. So it wasn't letting out any. Oh, that's leaking. Look at that. What's going on there? Whoa, that's not good. Hold on. I'm leaking out the top. The O-ring seems to be broken. Which is not good, because I don't know if I've got any spares. Okay, we've got a replacement in there now. Where on earth do you get replacement O-rings for kegs? I don't know. I don't want to buy the whole unit again. Let's hope this one works this time. Let's see. Which one's the beer? Which one's the beer again? I think it's the one on the right. Okay, it's going. Okay, it's not leaking. Okay, we're in business. So it's transferring from there to there. I always put one of those on just to let the gas out. Obviously, you don't want the gas to be more in there than in there. I've done that before. I put gelatin in the bottom, and then as soon as I connected it up, it just sucked the gelatin right up, and it all got stuck in the tube. Also, I'll just keep it topped up with gas as well. I don't know why it took me so long to do this, to get this big, massive, long lead, because it's perfect, absolutely perfect. I don't know what that's set for, 10 psi. Just keep that topped up and keep it transferring across. That is the plan. So hey there. Okay. I mean, look at that eye. It is so red, isn't it? Very itchy. Just need to stop rubbing it and stuff. So the good thing about pressure fermenters is that you can actually pour it off out of the keg, and it can be slightly carbonated. It's never fully carbonated, like, but so this is what it is. It's very murky. It's very murky. This is the red spider rye eel. Rye eel, is it? Or IPA or something like that, but it's got a load of Columbus in it at different points during the boil, including flame out, and that's basically what I'm smelling. There's a darkness. There is a darkness there. Okay. Obviously it's a cold crush temperatures, like, so. It's quite nice, actually. There's a bitterness to it, but there is also a sweetness to it as well. I could swear I'm tasting like a strawberry or something like that. I know sometimes you can get strawberry from like Columbus, but I don't know that I've quite had it before. It's always just dirty cannabis, you know. Well, that's quite nice. That is rather nice. We might need to put a little bit of gelatin or something in that just to keep me happy. But the colour's spot on, isn't it? Excellent. So that is still going. It's not quick. I mean, you can turn the gas up and it'll go a bit quicker, but we're wasting gas basically. So I'll tell you what I've got actually. You'll see it sitting there. So I did a bit of shopping. During the week. God knows I didn't need to do it, but we did it anyway. So I keep seeing this Vermin Vodka Pilsner malt, and I've been seeing it for a couple of years now. Never used it before, and I'm intrigued to know what it's like. It's supposed to be like stronger kind of flavour and stuff. You get a better flavour you get off it. We'll see. I've tried the Bohemian Pilsner, the floor malted stuff as well too, and I quite liked it. And I got another bag of it. I got a sack of it, the last sack I got, and it was pre-crushed now to be fair, but I was convinced it was like oxidized. It had been sitting for too long, and it wasn't right at all. And all the beers were like really kind of dark and just didn't taste quite right. So, and that was a whole sack. So I wasn't sure about buying a sack, so I went for 5 kilos. Okay, so you do one batch of beer, and maybe this is a coincidence, but it says like the best before is 2025 February 24th, which is in the past, which is a little bit annoying because it's out of date. So I'm glad I didn't get a sack now. Now that's whole grain, so I'm gonna crush that myself, so it probably will be okay, like, but still, like, it's just a bit annoying that they didn't say anything about that when they were advertising it or at the point of sale. Oh, that's quite nice. I do like that. It's hard to tell because it's A, it's so fresh, and B, it's because it's really, really cold. So yeah, so I've got the Pilsner malt. So I'm basically filling up the Keyser now with beers. So I'm looking for something that I could probably keep in the pressure fermenter, or I could just put it in a keg and keep the keg in this fridge here when we're coming into the warm weather. And I want something that'll obviously I can age and I can lager. So that seems perfect. A nice little German Pilsner. I've got a load of, like, say a load, but I've got enough like German hops. I think I've got a couple of Czech ones in there as well too. So we'll do something, because I want to taste that malt just to see what it's like before I, you know, go all in and get a sack. But as far as hops go, so I didn't actually intend to buy that. As is always the way, you end up buying stuff you don't need or want. So what I actually wanted was different hops, because I'm starting to get a little bit bored with making the same beer all the time. I've got loads of Citra, Cascade, Centennial, and obviously Nelson as well. I've got a few other bits and pieces there, Simcoe, but I've gone completely off Simcoe. But I was getting a bit bored because I was using the same ones all the time. So I went on to buy like 100 gram packs, and a couple of different ones, and a different ones picked out, Eldorado and stuff I haven't used in years, and a few new ones, but the price of them was like £6-7 for like 100 grams, which is not an awful lot. I mean, I wouldn't get one beer for 100 grams of hops these days. And of course, I started having a look at the bulk hops. So to cut a long story short, I've ended up with a kilo of nectar on. I've never even had nectar on before, so I'm purely going by what other people say, which is kind of positive. So yeah, I wanted different hops to try, different flavors, and now I've ended up with just buying a kilo bag or something, but it was like 40 something pound. So it was a lot. It's a lot cheaper when you think about it in those terms, considering, like, you know, 100 grams, a tenth of that costs like £6-7. Okay, there's where we're going now. It's not quick. You can see it going down there, and maybe we can see condensation, can't we? Looks like it's at the bottom. Yeah. So I think I'll not keep you. I'll come back when it's finished. But that's kind of the way we're going. Got myself another beer. So this is the New Zealand Pilsner. This is the latest New Zealand Pilsner, which is Nelson Loves Double C. This is the second version of it, but I've switched around the hops. So I've committed the cardinal sin of not making Nelson the main hop, even though Nelson's in the title. But now the main hop's now Citra. So this is what I was saying before. It's Citra and Cascade and Nelson Sauvin. There's more of those two hops than there is of the Nelson. Don't tell the Nelson, for God's sake. It was the end of the bag of Nelson, to be fair. That's why. But it's really nice. I have to say, it's really nice. Again, it's nice and clear. Haven't put any finings or anything into it, so yeah, excellent. It is 5% though. So I think this is the first beer where I was using the grain mill for the first time, and the mash efficiency was like 90% or something insane. And I put a load of water into it. I only got it down to 5%. It's really nice. It's really light and easy to drink, and the Nelson's definitely died down at the gooseberry white wine thing, and the Citra's ramped up, which is good. So we'll see what way it ages. I've got another keg of it. We'll see what way it ages, and yeah, we will tweak the recipe for the next. The question is, will I be using the Barca malt for that? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's not cheap, that Barca malt either, too. I don't know if I mentioned that before too. It's not quite twice the price, but it is expensive. So, you know, you don't want to be, and that was the same with the floor malted Bohemian, and then you pay through the nose for it, and then it's just rubbish. So but yeah, we'll see. I mean, you don't necessarily need, I don't think you need really malty malt. Does that even make sense? Malty, you know, Pilsner malt, when you're putting that many hops in it. And there is quite a lot of hops in it. It's not quite a cold IPA, but it's not far off it. So, I mean, you don't necessarily need the really intense malt. I mean, don't knock it until you try it, I suppose. But yeah, just kind of lager malt's fine. Tend to get mostly use Simpson's malt for everything these days. Getting near the bottom. I'm just waffling now, aren't I? Okay. Tell you what, let's get this finished up and I'll come back. There's no point me wasting your time just because I've got nothing to do. I've literally got nothing to do but stand here and wait. Getting right down to the bottom there. The old saucepan. Oh. Okay, so it's going to start shooting foam out. That means it's getting near the top. I'll just take that out. I've missed it finishing, but it basically started making the noise there, and then all the stuff started coming up the top when I was releasing the pressure, like that. That means it's definitely full. So what's going to happen then is I'm going to drink the rest of that, I think, tonight, and that is going into the Keezer over there. So I think that'll do it for tonight. So happy Homebrew Wednesday. I shall see you next week then. Bye.